Robinson. They call me Jay.
This is Michael Jeffrey. They call me Mike Jeff.
This is Logan Barnes, and they call me Pounds.
This is Vince Smith, and they call me Vinny.
And this is The Last Dab.
That's actually really
good. Dude, they have some like a Hef style beer, like the German style.
Right.
That's really good. We really like that one.
So what are we drinking on, my guy?
This is their third platoon. It's called Third Platoon.
Well,
it's an American style ale from KBZ or Clues Brews here in Lebanon.
You went there today?
Yeah, they had a soft opening for the members only. They did a little membership for life. You pay $100 for this little card where I got this boot that you guys can see here.
He's got the Clues boot.
Nice.
You can bring this in, and it's only if you have the boot. So if you don't have the boot, you won't get the discount. But you can get a really cheap beer refill from the boot compared to just buying a regular beer. So I get that for life. And then like today, I got free beer today.
That's dope.
They do special events.
Yeah, they do discounts, and we get like secrets to certain things. But it was really nice to see because Lebanon's a small town. We don't have a lot of cool things opening up all the time like this. So I definitely checked it out, and I hope they stay open because right across the street, I was involved in the Cell Block 104 at the old jail.
Oh, okay.
I did a lot of remodeling in that building, getting it set up for a restaurant, and then I actually ended up working there at the restaurant, and it ended up going down for numerous reasons, but it was a really good opportunity. It was such a cool restaurant.
Were they?
I know. I wish they stayed open.
Yes, there was the brewery side of that business. The guy's name's Sean. I forget his last name, but him and his dad and his family originally had breweries in Chicago and Illinois, and they brought one of their breweries here to Lebanon, and they were trying to incorporate the restaurant side into it. But here's the funny thing about restaurants and breweries is in order to become a full-fledged brewery that can sell their own product out of that restaurant, the restaurant has to be an established business for at least 3 years. You have to be a restaurant for 3 years before you can start selling your brewery. See, but the thing with like Clues Brews today, they're selling food, but it's not opened up as a restaurant. It's opened up as a brewery. You're going there for a brewery, not as a restaurant. So it's a different story. But if you open up as a restaurant that is also a brewery, it's a different story.
Okay.
So I thought that was very interesting because they couldn't even sell their beer there for 3 years after it beat open. I was like, that's very interesting.
Flip it and go straight.
Brewery first and then restaurant.
Shout out Clues Brews. But Vince, who do we got with us today?
The owners of the joint. On the joint here in town in Lebanon. New smoke shop.
Oh yeah.
CBD. Delta 8. Delta 10.
Delta 8, Delta 10, CBD, full spectrum.
We've got it. We want it. We have it.
So we got Drake here.
Yep.
And we got Bethany.
Yep.
And we all kind of met recently, all of us.
And that's one thing I like about it. Not being from here, I've been able to network, and my social life is the shop, and it's nice. I'm loving the fact that I'm getting used to everybody coming in. I know people's names now. People are like, "Oh my gosh,
that's huge."
I think we talked a little bit the last time I came in. I was asking at the difference between Delta 8 and Delta 10. I wasn't sure about the.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing where we've just been able to sit and educate people, and it's been awesome because we're making those connections. We're making these personal, connections with everybody that, you may not be getting at other stores. We're not getting these connections. We're not being able to reach a community. We're doing things a lot different. So it's not that we're trying to be a competition. We're just trying to be.
For sure. One thing I was kind of saying earlier to you guys, it's funny because like if someone's asked me about like what you guys are, like what you guys are selling or whatever, I'll just tell them, hey, ask for one of your names and they'll let you know everything. Like, I'm just kind of like throwing them off onto you guys because it's like,
we appreciate
because you
that.
guys know what you're talking about, and it's like, I know you're gonna do way better than what my explanation's probably
Well,
gonna
and
be.
that's one
So
thing, we have a passion for this, whether it's the the flower side, the carts. We have a passion for it. We see it as a medical thing for the fact that it is a small amount of the THC in it, but we're still being able to use it for amazing things, and that's we're just so passionate about that because it affects our own personal lives, and the fact that we can help other people. That's really what it's about for us.
oh yeah.
That and the Delta right now is a very hot commodity. It's our number one seller in the shop.
Yeah, it really is.
And we know that there's other people in town who are selling Delta, but we've also been finding out by our own research and just hearing from customers and things like that nobody else knows what's going on with it. Nobody knows as much as we know about it, and we're really quality controlling our products right now. So we're trying to get the best of the best and have a few prime selections to choose from and not have 10 different cart companies,
That
10
makes sense.
10 different flower companies. Like, we want to get down to about 4 or 5 or so real good,
Really
solid
solid,
companies.
yeah.
Have a trust built with those.
Right, and right now we've got the Hoosier Hemp Growers, which is obviously local, very good brand.
Very amazing guys.
We've got the
They're
3 Chi, which is from Fishers, Indiana.
Oh,
We've
nice.
got,
I've liked their products so
I used to
far.
live
Yeah.
I've tried
Right.
this for sure.
and then we've got the Urban Days as well, which is
They're
they're currently in Carmel. They're
Oh, wow.
indoor growery for their flowers in Carmel. Here off of Ransdale Road, they're actually doing the carts here in Lebanon off of Ransdale Road,
Oh wow,
and they're
So they
actually
are
getting ready
close to home.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
they're getting ready to move their whole entire gig over here to Lebanon. So like all our CBD flower that we have is from Urban Days, and it's indoor grown hydroponics.
Future home goes. Urban Days is not.
No, the CBD flower,
Oh, the CBD flower.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mhm.
You're right. I'm sorry.
which is the Urban Days brand. And like I said, it's all indoor grown out over in Carmel.
Could you imagine going to a fucking building, looking in through the window, and it's just a bunch of plants? You're like,
That'd be
beautiful.
Well, those
Yeah.
places are actually locked down pretty tight. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
cool. Like a hemp growing operation. Right?
Well, the indoor grow stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially I don't know how big their facility is. I've never seen it personally myself, but man, it's just got a great smell to it.
Oh, I bet.
When I was in California, I was never a big just pure CBD strain type guy. I never really tried them or anything, but I obviously trying these products, I was fairly impressed with
Oh yeah,
Well, that and
the medical benefit side of it.
yeah.
you
That's
know?
the same thing I got out of it
you can
too.
go and get juice, and the juice is going to do nothing for you. So for me, I have a lot of spinal issues, a lot of just bulging discs. Sleep doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm always in pain. So, I was pissed. CBD juice didn't do anything that I wanted that I'm getting from Delta 8s or anything. But this CBD flower that they have smokes just like what we have at home, smokes just like the Delta 8. The only difference is no psychoactives, but that pain was gone. So this...
Like you could literally just notice it going away.
Yes, immediately.
That's
I looked at
great.
it and went, I've not been pain-free in 10 plus
All the
years.
benefits without all
Yes,
the.
exactly.
I'm epileptic, so I wished, and I think that's what's happening right now. It's the change of I have to take these pills that you can't even spell, levocetirin, Vimpat.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, I have to take these things that have so many side effects and negative things that it's almost like, why am I doing this? Because it's almost forced.
Mhm.
We don't have the
We don't
options
have
here.
this option, exactly.
Because think about it. If I had a very high concentrate CBD, it is proven scientifically that it does treat epilepsy.
Right.
And-
but then you get into the topic of now you're starting to take money out of big pharma.
And that is the biggest
Pharmaceutical,
part.
yeah.
Right.
And where's the huge operation here? Eli
Lilly.
Lilly. So
Right.
it all just makes
And
sense.
that's about 75% of the reason why Indiana is not currently legal.
I agree.
So can
And Philip Morris.
we tie in the fact that I know it's more towards the THC, but we got like states like Illinois, and I mean, we're kind of getting surrounded by some of these states that are opening up to that fact.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're more on the CBD side, but what do you think that plays for us? Do you think it's going to change things for us, or?
In our hopes and dreams, we hope it does.
Yeah.
Because that's really where we want to be.
Well,
that's where we want to go. And our owners above us, you know, that's their mindset. You know, at one point, I jokingly said, "Don't you just want to go to California? Let me go home and open you a store." And he just looked at me and he said, "But we're right here."
Bro.
What if
And the person
do you not
that-
want to have this as a dispensary? He goes, "Do you not want to do this with me?" Yes.
The person
Yes,
who
I do.
starts will be. I mean, it's going to be unreal. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be unreal. They are going to set the stage. They are going to have the
And
standards.
that's kind of where we're at right now with this Delta 8 and Delta 10. We've
Oh,
already
yeah.
got our foot. We're already establishing with the community.
Yep.
You're already trusting us
That's what
with
I'm-
what we've got. So once this happens, who are you going to come to?
You already know.
The people you know, the people you trust, the people that are, you know, local, not really local, but, you know, the ones you already knew that were giving you the Delta 8 and Delta 10 that were quality products, that you can scan these QR codes. Yes, you can go to a gas station and get this for $10 cheaper, sure.
Right.
But what is in your product? Can you scan that QR code? No, you can come to me, scan this, and anything I've got in my store, you're going to know what's in it. You're not going to have, you know, extra sedatives. You're not going to have all these synthetic things that you possibly are getting at a
I've
gas
seen
station.
people use. I've heard that people use melatonin in the gummies, in the Delta 8 gummies.
Yes, but are you wanting my beer? Oh, yeah. My bad.
One thing that
Beer's the worst.
I felt has opened up to us on that side that I was kind of going towards, you know, that we're being surrounded by that opening of the legalization. But like even in our state, if we're not gonna open ourselves up to that legalization, at least we are having the opportunity to have people like you that can come out and open stores like this that can sell the Delta 8 and THC
Exactly.
or Delta 10,
Well,
excuse
it does
me.
have the legal amount of
Yes, for
THC,
sure.
so
That's .03, correct?
Yes.
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 You know, really, the thing is unfortunately, this Delta is such a unpredictable market right now.
Yeah.
Because if
I can
I'm
only
remembering,
imagine, man.
if I'm remembering correctly, I heard somebody tell me that I believe it was New York State
Yes.
that they had Delta. They had Delta going out there this last year. It did very well. It was making lots of money out there, and
That boot just popped.
If you don't turn the boot as you drink it, you learn that in the movie Beer Fest. If you don't turn the boot as you drink it, it'll do exactly what it just did just now.
It sold too well.
right.
Yes.
And so now what it's doing is it's catching the attention of you know, your government, because they're seeing that people are getting high off this.
Yep.
You know, it's got the psychoactive properties that your CBD products has not been able to offer. So
At all.
they're not liking it.
No.
So there is no guarantee. So right now we're doing what we can. We're going to be here, you know, servicing everybody until, you know, they tell us no. But, you know, going back on that topic of legalization, you know, in Indiana, you know, there's a lot of variables. So out in California, for an example, you had to waive your right to be able to own, purchase
Firearm?
a firearm.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So some states only
That's
allow.
good. J-Rock.
What's up, man?
What you guys up to?
I'll just chilling, bro.
Just enjoying the evening.
Yep.
Getting in the lab?
Oh,
Yes,
we're
sir.
in the lab. The Last Dab Lab.
We got to try. There's a new brewery here in town, Jared. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but there's a new brewery, and we're trying a little bit of their beer. We're talking about the joint here in town and their new Delta 8 and new Delta
Wait, you're talking about
10.
getting lab in it?
Yeah, they got a new brewery. It just opened up.
So Boone County, they're trying to come up now, aren't
So try some of this. This is OG Kush. Or no, that's blueberry. I'm sorry.
Blueberry, Delta
Yeah.
8 or Delta
Yeah.
10?
That's Delta 8.
So,
Who's your hemp growers?
Bethany, when I came in earlier, she basically explained to me, and if Drake, you want to touch more on this, maybe detail it more. She basically
Oh, that's
said that
nice.
the Delta 10 is more of your sativa, the Delta 8's more of your indica. And I thought it was something just like
Completely different.
someone told me about Delta 10 and I was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
So your Delta 8, the way they classify all this stuff is Delta 9 is your actual THC. Delta 8 and Delta 10 are two basically cannabinoids. There's thousands of different cannabinoids, but so what they do is in the hemp plant, there's actually 20 different psychoactive properties within the hemp plant itself.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So what they do is they extract from the root or the stem of the hemp plant, and they can isolate these psychoactive properties that were not psychoactive in the actual hemp bud itself, because the hemp flower or the hemp plant actually will bud flower just like your regular
for sure.
marijuana.
Oh,
So with that being said, with the Delta, the only difference is yes. So your Delta 8 is going to act as your indica, and Delta 10 is going to act as your hybrid sativas.
Because, we were
we
looking
can
at
make
some
that.
hybrids. We were looking at some sativas, and I'm like, wait a minute.
But
It's
here's the
all
kicker.
Delta 8.
So even though Delta 8 is indica,
This is the blueberry.
you still have sativas within that Delta 8 classification. You
Right.
still have indicas. You still have your hybrids. So a sativa in Delta 8 is basically going to be now like a indica strong hybrid.
I love hybrids that are 60-40 or 80-20.
Yeah.
They're my
Right.
favorite.
Yeah.
And some of these might even be, as
It
much
tastes
as 70-30 as well.
70-30?
Yeah.
That's damn near the best.
Here's a good
Right,
question
that 10.
I got for you guys, because you said you're not from California, or
No,
maybe
I am.
you are.
What about you, Joe?
I grew up in Indiana, but I was out in California for about 4 years.
Okay, what?
So you know the vibe.
Jay's out in California right now, right, Jared?
Be out to you right now.
Okay, so
my boy.
what?
I'm a little jealous.
What I want to ask Jared and you guys, all three of you guys right now. So Jared, you're out there now, and you guys used to be out there, and you're kind of bringing some of the vibes and some of the things from, California over here to Indiana.
Energy.
Did you guys see Delta 8 and Delta 10 over in California, or?
Delta 8 was coming out as we left.
Well,
Indiana.
you know what was weird is I did some research on where all it's at and everything, and I found it weird that out of 11 states, 2 states which are legalized for marijuana ban the Delta 8 for some reason, and I really understand that.
We were just talking about it. It's basically comes down to money, bro. It's like, hold on, you're taking the market that we had, and we don't like that.
So Jared,
Okay,
you don't see Delta 8 or Delta 10 where you're at very much.
Not really, no.
See,
Well,
that's kind of
there's
weird.
not really a demand for it in a sense
Yeah.
in a place like that when you've already got a cannabis market that has been established out there for a very long time. This Delta is a fairly newer process because
very
10 years ago we didn't have the technology to be able to get this stuff.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
Let alone dabs alone.
right.
Right.
So you guys brought some edibles? I'm a hungry boy most of the time.
I've
Yeah,
tried
break those-
some of the
break those
edibles. I've tried some of those for sure.
I came in earlier and she gave me a little snicky snack. You know what I mean? Got a little couple
If you've
gummies.
never been in, at least on my shift, I'll give you a free.
So you said
Try it,
Just give it a
you were
try.
saying that it comes from you grow the hemp, right?
Yes.
And then it blooms just like the bud.
So,
normal
but-
bud would bloom.
Right.
Can
so
you-
Proof.
So before they grow, so basically for as an example on the flower form of things, so what they'll do is they'll go out, they'll have hemp plant and they'll extract the psychoactive properties out of it. And like I said, there's 20 different properties, and with those different properties, they can actually isolate each one of these individually, and then they can mimic your different strains as well. But
Oh, that's dope.
Okay.
so once they extract from the hemp plant, what they'll do is they'll grow another hemp plant, and what we have is called Delta 8 infused.
Yeah, see, I've always wanted to know, like, how can it be Delta 8, and then what's the difference from Delta 8 infused?
So the there's two different ways. They can do spray on. They can do the Delta 8 and spray it onto the already grown flower, or what we have. Can you hold on a second? So what we have is, so when they're growing another hemp plant, they'll take that distillate extract and they pump it into the new plant. So now what you're doing is you're feeding it into the plant like a water or your nutrients. Okay. And it will now when that hemp plant flowers, it makes that bud now psychoactive. Whereas before, the way the good Lord made it, it's stuck in the stem.
Yeah.
So in the stem of the plant, it had, that's where it sits and that's where it stays. It doesn't go anywhere else in the plant.
It just decided not to go.
That's why hemp's got like 10,000 different uses for it, and this is just one.
Yeah. Right. That's what I've thought about.
It's created this whole market now, though. You know what I'm saying? Like hemp's been around forever, but now with the technology, this is just another way of utilizing that plant.
Because before it was always like textures and robe or textiles, robe and stuff like that. But now it's more like you said, it's open to markets where it's like, whoa, now we know 100 more uses. What's next?
Right, and you always had the CBD for being able to smoke or the tinctures, but now being able to take one part of the plant and stick it into the same plant again now make the bud psychoactive it's awesome.
It's almost like recycling it almost.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't waste it. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I gave my mom a Delta 8. It was 25 milligrams. Look, she didn't. But I don't. She didn't. Like, It wasn't like it was like bad. She was just. I think she was so surprised that it would actually, make her feel something. And it was very different from, her younger years or what she had experienced prior.
Well, here's the other thing a lot of people don't know, and I think this is a THC and CBD thing. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys can correct me. But when you eat edibles, it affects you differently than anything else. Yes. Yeah. So when it comes to that could have been what it was. It affects you a lot differently than smoking.
Exactly. And these, they take, anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to kick in. Yeah. And I have a lot of people that, I'm telling you, go slow. Take half of this. Yeah. Don't listen to
well, actually, on the labels, they say it can take up to 4 hours.
2 or 4 hours. And I've had that happen before, dude.
Yeah.
Creepers.
And that's the bad thing. That's the bad thing about the edibles is, like, you can overdo it with the edibles. Yes, you can have a bad trip, and then what that'll do for people is that leaves a bad taste in their mouth for the Delta products.
No pun intended.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I love about this Delta 8 is that gateway, and it's a gateway into just exposing a little bit more of the benefits from Delta 9, the THC. Right. I feel like once people have a little bit better concept about what it is, then they're not so scared and don't have such a bad taste. If they just get that small dose where they could just start off and just see what it's about, kind of just dip their toes in the water.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people do, because a lot of people don't know about this. We've got everybody from 21-year-old kids all the way up to 60, 70-year-old grandparents. So
I got a really good example. And Vince, I think you said someone you've known. I think it's kind of like an example of this. But I've had my own grandmother and someone I know also very close to me too, that they don't necessarily like the feeling of a THC buzz or using that product or whatever, but when it comes to, like, my grandma had breast cancer, and we gave her some of the oils that were just the CBD and nothing, not the THC. Right, and they were shocked on how it affected and like how much it actually worked. And it's like, I think that's just a good. I think people will have everybody has an example to them, but that's kind of like an example to me. Is I watched my own grandmother, someone that never really did that her whole life, never really even thought to ever do it, and she wanted to try it, and it worked. It helped her out on a lot of things through cancer, and that's cancer's.
Right, I have a
crazy.
that comes in.
Sure.
That she does. She's got the oxygen and everything, and she is fighting cancer. And that's what she was like. I'm so sick of all these drugs that they're pumping into me.
Yeah.
Can you just give me something?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like,
Well,
here, try these gummies. She came back the next day and bought 3 bags. She was like, this is fantastic.
Well, I had a lady come in, gave her the sample of the 25 milligram ones that we had, and she took it home to her mom, and her mom's on very strong narcotics for her pains because she's got all types of back problems. And she was telling me that her mom doesn't ever get a full night's worth of sleep, and she gave her mom some of those gummies, and she said her mom slept the whole entire night. Like, that is now a medical product to somebody.
Yes.
It is no longer just, oh, this is have fun, let's get stoned.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
That was the false narrative. That was like the people that were against it.
Amongst many others.
Yeah,
Yes.
the people who are against it
Other
are
narratives.
always going to promote it as the typical stoner, idiots,
Yep.
drug addicts. If you're doing this, you're also doing
Right.
the hard
I also
stuff.
don't like that stigma where it makes you like lazy.
Lazy and stupid. Like,
Right,
what are you talking
right.
about?
Or that you're uneducated.
Yes.
Right.
Wiz Khalifa, successful stone.
There's so many of them, bro.
Look, he's gonna
Look at his water pipe.
That's nice.
It's got mushrooms on it. Beautiful.
See, that was another thing I was gonna have you guys explain. We've been talking a lot about your Delta 8 products and Delta 10, and you guys have a good variety. I mean, like if you can't
So
go in here and
here-
not say there wasn't an option, you know.
So
But,
what do you guys been thinking about these real far? Sorry to interrupt you, but
No, it's fine.
you guys have been hitting them. What do you think
Bro,
about the
I love this
Yes.
lemon
one's
shaker.
awesome.
It's so
They're
good.
surprisingly so smooth.
It's so
Right.
smooth, bro.
Right.
Because usually you hit it and it tastes kind of like artificial.
No aftertaste to it. It's just
Well, I was
smooth.
gonna
It's
ask
just
you,
great.
Like you just get the lemon.
does it feel so? It does feel less of a. You don't have the cough as much.
not
You
the
feel like
flavor.
it's smoother to consume.
Well,
And that's the
you
better
can
thing,
rip
too. A lot
it.
of people
Yes.
don't like their
Yeah, you
menthol
can.
out of their neck.
I just did.
Yeah.
Example A.
little bit.
Example A. You can rip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can
And
do
I
it.
immediately feel it, man. Like I've just immediately like
It's just
Yeah.
mellow. It's so mellow.
straight to the head.
Yes.
in the zone.
It's cerebral in a different way.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Enlightening.
And
Yeah, let's bust out.
So,
what you
so,
were
but
saying about
what I was saying was you guys also sell obviously all your tobacco products. I mean, I actually buy a lot of vapes myself, electronic cigarettes, and you guys just got like the new Hyde ones.
Those
That's
400.
Well, they're the ones that have like you can see the liquid in it. I haven't seen those ones before.
The rechargeables are the bigger ones.
Yeah, I think I've seen those. I was gonna try those out and see what they're about. I buy 2 and they'll last me forever. But I buy some every once in a while, and I know you guys have other things. Like Jared's got a really cool hat. I know that he bought off of you guys.
Mhm.
So I know you guys keep your.
this right here.
Yeah,
One of them.
he's got a lighter right there.
You guys were saying about how beneficial it is for your patient with a bad back, and it's crazy that like you go and you put in a hard day work, and you do your thing, you handle your business, you go home, and then you go ahead and find a way to relax. That would be a good way to relax. You can just go get it, but it's still it still upsets me that it can be a drug. You can still get drug tested about it, right?
Yeah,
like it'll
right.
Because your body still
Drug test.
metabolizes
Well,
that.
we've talked about it before on the podcast now, but we try to stay up on like current events or topics or something, at least stuff that we are interested in.
Right.
And we saw that Amazon was no longer
Yes.
Testing for THC.
So, and we're kind of seeing, we're big sports fans, so we're seeing a lot of more sports leagues, national sports leagues, no longer testing for marijuana.
See, it's
And-
starting to normalize.
Yes.
It's starting to, and it's not like these people weren't already doing this.
Right.
It's just now we're
The public eye can see it, and it's like, stop trying to act
They
like it's gonna.
glamorize it.
Yeah, stop trying to
That's
act
right.
like it's gonna get the kids on other stuff.
If you hear like a lot of stories from NFL players talk about like the painkillers they have to use.
Oh,
to
yeah,
make it
Calvin-
through the season, like
Calvin
Toradol, you have to get injections right before the game just to be able to play through games and stuff like that.
If you're already hurting.
Mhm.
Like, bro, that's one of the main things I like about it. It's like if someone could consume some Delta 8, some gummies at the night because they're hurting so bad because of some, traumatic event they went through, I would rather them do that. And I think they would rather do that instead of taking all these painkillers and just basically
it's been pushed.
basically just dealing with it. You know what I mean? This is such more of a natural and treatable way that can make you feel like you're not just some robot. You know what I mean?
Eat through your stomach and your liver.
Yeah. Oh, way better.
What do you got to say, Jay?
Well, and people don't realize too. They think that if you get it from a doctor, that somehow that they're not going to get addicted to it or something. So you take what's prescribed to you, and if you're on painkillers for 3 months, I don't care who you are. You go to come off of that, you're going to have some withdrawals. If it's not physical, it's going to be some type of mental withdrawal.
Where can I get it?
Because your levels are down now. Your dopamine levels are down. So it's going to take you a while to get back up to even normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's also what is it? I don't know. An anxiolytic. So it's like if for someone who has anxiety, it suppresses anxiety or any anxious feeling. That's the both Delta 8 and Delta 9, right?
Yes, sure.
It can, but it can also, if you consume too much of it,
Heighten
it can
it.
also heighten it. So, like example, we were
Delta 8, correct?
I have a stomach problem that it's weird. You can look up and read about it that THC and CBD use can really help the symptoms of it and make you feel better. But at the same time, it can also make the situation worse at the same time.
Yeah. Sure, it can.
It just depends on really what you're talking about.
And who you are.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to a tolerance level, too, because I tell people who are just getting into Delta who don't do anything else, like, you got to be careful with it. Because if you overdo it, it will give you anxiety, it will give you paranoia, but it also treats these things as well.
It's about other medicine, too. Think about it.
Right.
You take any other medication, and it could be very
These
negative.
commercials, they name off like 70 different side effects.
Exactly, yeah. That's if you overdo it.
In 10 seconds.
They speed that bitch up three times faster.
I'll let you guys, this is the Moon Rocks here.
You
The
show
Delta
it
8
to
Moon
the
Rocks,
camera.
Mellow Fellow.
No, that's not.
Check that.
Mellow fellow, you're my friend.
That's the brand
Beautiful.
I've wanted to try. And you guys have had, I think you
Okay.
brought it's
Mellow
100
Fellow.
milligram, like nerd. Yes, okay, so,
I need to try.
I love those.
And we these are back ordered.
Those are amazing.
These are 100 milligrams.
So does this have a strain?
I think you live your dream is what that is.
One of the, just name them off.
Can you explain Moon Rock for people that do not know? Because I actually think people might need to know that.
Okay, so your Moon Rocks is, all it is your Delta 8 hemp flower. They've taken it and they've rolled it in CBD oil or Delta 8 oil, and then they roll it in Delta 8 keef.
And people don't understand keef too sometimes.
Right. So what keef is when you're grinding up your flower form to smoke it, that's how you do it. And then you have, usually on your grinder, a bottom catch on it that catches the finer powder, which is referred to as your keef or your dust. And that's once they dip that in the oil, then they roll it in the keef. So you're getting not only the flour, but you're getting the oil and the keef on top of that. So you're getting like three things in one.
It's a 3-piece combo with fries and a shake. Because you're going to like it.
I don't know who makes these.
They're good, aren't they, sir?
Thank you. All I'm going to say is thank you.
Infused and the nerds.
I like how it's a circle. I've never really seen that.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, I'll do this real quick. For anybody that lives in Lebanon, Indiana, they are located right in front of Walmart by a B-Dubs. It's the old Subway Radio Shack area. I don't know the street technically what that would be, but
Drive by Elmate.
everybody that listens to our podcast will know that what I'm talking about. At least if they're locals, yes.
Well, what's the address?
Are there other
I wanted to ask you guys.
are there other like sister stores?
So the actual owners, they have 10 stores.
Okay.
So there's Fortville. They're getting ready to open Wabash.
You have one in Fortville?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then there's
I know
Greenfield.
Fortville pretty good.
There's a couple other around
Pretty well.
Indiana that I don't know
Pretty
specific.
swell.
Well, there should be opening up a shop in Frankfurt as well.
Fucking Frankfurt.
I'll definitely like it there.
I swear, that's my mom's family.
I'm glad.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Thing, man, we live in a day and age where there's, people are very self-centered, very narcissistic.
Yes, for sure.
For us, we just treat people the way we want to be treated when we go out to a restaurant, when I go out to fill my gas, when I go out to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's just common decency. We just treat people like human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what kind of really
Right.
also gave
Each one
us the
each
idea
one-
to create our own.
something for another person, and the world just be a better place. As that progresses, if everybody did at least one thing for someone else,
We don't always have to agree on topics and politics and X, Y, and Z, but you don't have to treat each other like shit either.
Right.
There's no reason to somebody coming in the store that some of the other stores I get told about, which we won't mention names, but they get bad experience, they get bad customer service. They, you go in to buy something that they're selling, and you kind of get looked at being a criminal buying something that's in their store that they're selling,
Right.
because they were already passing judgment on you because of what you're buying. So,
And, on this side of the counter, we're just like you guys. Once we leave the store, we hang out like everybody else.
and the thing is, everybody's got some type of release. I don't care what it is. If people are on Xanax for their anxiety, if somebody drinks, if somebody smokes, nowadays there's some type of release that everybody has, and this also gives people the option who want a release like that but don't want to go out and drink or get in trouble. The Delta is a great thing.
I just got one. I'm good for now. We do we'll do a break here soon. We call it our 7:10 break actually, and I don't know if do you guys listen to podcasts at all? Not to interrupt what you were talking about right there.
You're fine.
But do you guys listen to podcasts at all yourselves?
To be honest with you, you guys are the only ones I've ever listened to.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, he's kind of off the table.
Yeah.
He's a given.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talk about Joe Rogan ourselves, so what we'd like to point out first off, at least I do a lot. Vinny is kind of our mastermind when it comes to a lot of things, so we thank him for a lot, to be honest. But when it comes to podcasts in general, like. I came in the store that one day and I was explaining to you guys like that we didn't want this to be an interview. We wanted this to be just a fun time with you guys and for us to let anybody that wants to listen.
Nice little introduction to the town, really.
Yeah, because we like to introduce you guys and even us to you guys because we're just now meeting you guys for the most part.
That's true collectively, at least. Yeah.
And that's awesome that we can get these type of relationships like that. That's awesome.
And that's kind of where, we're going to be here for a while. We want the longevity.
Well, I hope so.
And we're trying to build with the community as well. We don't want people to feel unwelcomed or that what they're coming in our store for is bad you. Like we want people to know that it's okay. Like it's fine. Like obviously you come in. We had problems with underage kids and IDs and things. So, things like that we won't put up with, obviously. Right. If you come in and you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, then obviously we'll do what we have to do. But, like I said, we're here to service the community. We're not here to make enemies, So especially not with the police department, because that's obviously why the owners, it took them over 4 weeks to ever get flour in, because they just didn't want to do that immediately as soon as the shop opened. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
they're also mindful of the community as well. So it's not like, oh, we're just dropping our business here, take off, sayonara. No, they want to know how the customers are thinking about it. They want to know what the community thinks about it. They care too, you know. All right, so what we got here is it's a Delta
There he
8,
is.
Delta 8 syringe.
We got a Delta 8 syringe, Jared. He's going to explain it.
See if
Delta
I can
8
get-
syringe.
Yeah.
That's the distillate.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of.
I'll pack a cone and
Yes.
put it around it.
Yeah, so this
So
you
what
can
do you do
top.
with that?
You can put this on top of your flour. You can put this in a blunt. You can put this on a J. You can anything you want to put it on as a topper. It's basically a topper. It's a distillate. It's I think this stuff is probably at least low 80s, mid 80s range on your Delta 8 percentage. So, you know, it's something that, like, even this you could take and put on your gums, just like the
That's
dab
what I've
wax
done.
as well. You can put that on your
Gotta
gums.
go.
I eat it on crackers and stuff.
Yeah, you
nice,
can
man.
actually, like, any kind of, like, hot food you can put on it and it'll just melt right into it.
Yeah. I put in some mac and cheese, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just put a little bit, swirl that around in
Yeah.
there.
I went on a kayak trip, or it was a whitewater rafting trip in Colorado, where I had one of those distillate syringes that you guys were talking about, and that was it was really nice, and
It's a different
yes, I really
That's what he knows right now.
enjoyed that. And I was kind of nervous because, like, I'm about to go on. It was like a level 3 rapids. So, like, no, it was Colorado, like,
Yeah.
real rapids, you know? So I'm, like, nervous. It was like a 40-minute trip up the mountain on a bus.
It's a 40
And I'm sitting there like, oh, it's so beautiful, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to row a boat. So I'm like, what am I
Never
doing?
been taught.
But it ended up being really nice, and I really liked it. It was awesome.
So this is one.
So what brand is the syringe?
This is
also-
Mellow Fellow.
Yes.
I'm digging all the mellow.
You put it.
I like
Did
the
you say you could
bags.
put it on a PB&J?
Well, put it on whatever the fuck you want.
On the
Well, technically, you
And
could. I mean,
yeah.
You could
it's,
put it on anything.
it's an already, for the most part, it's an already active product.
That's what I'm
So
saying,
you could technically do anything. with it.
Anything. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
did.
why
What
a
are you
lot
guys
of
putting
it.
it on right now?
So maybe
I think we're gonna do it on a J.
can the syringes help in a lot of medical cases, like maybe like seizures? Is that a thing with this? Or
That would be probably more on your CBD end of
Okay,
things.
okay.
And, you know, people don't realize, though, to get that strong of concentrated CBD is very expensive.
Oh yeah,
It's very expensive. So,
I can see that for sure.
you know, because people with MS and Parkinson's
Yes.
and,
Even
seizures.
the
and
epilepsy, like he
the
said.
epilepsy,
yes.
like, those are going to be people who are going to need probably a little bit stronger.
I have some if you need
This
some.
is the Skittles.
All right, I'll get the Skittles.
Mm-hmm. So that's also another part.
Yeah, I like mellow fellow.
And the Mellow Fellow is based
They've
out of
impressed me.
Colorado.
So there's
Yeah, they know this shit.
These little syringes come with a little tool that you can put on it, and you can fill your own. If you had your own carts, you could fill your own Delta 8 carts like that
That's
there
dope.
with this.
That's cool.
So
there's a lot of different.
there's a lot of different purposes for it.
I think that lemon shake up is the best.
Dude, the lemon and the blueberry are.
Emperors, man. Their parts, they actually just taste like what it says it is. And that, I like all of the carts. I
So-
love the Mellow Fellow, but if you really want something that, lemon shake-up tastes just like a lemon shake-up.
Well, and
Just
all
like
our
blueberry.
carts have cannabis derived terps in them, so you're getting as close as you can. Obviously, nothing's ever going to be like flower form. You can't mimic that in a liquid form. You just can't. You can get close to it, but matching it, saying like hitting this and being blindfolded and then hitting that, and not being able to tell the difference in the taste is just not a reality. You know what I'm saying? But you can get close.
Yeah,
You know, because a lot of places they use synthetic terps.
Yeah.
You know, made in a laboratory, and that's
I don't
up
want
to
nobody
somebody's
to have that.
profile to, you know, adding whatever they do to it, to the flavors.
It doesn't even sound good.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, why the fuck? It's like artificial flavor.
Yeah, and you can taste it. You can, it's a little bit oily sometimes. You can kind of.
It tastes sometimes like cleaning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Like
it's
cleaning
a little bit,
supplies. Yeah.
That's the Skittles, but that.
So, another thing I'll mention about you guys is you guys have a lot of, like I said, a lot of your tobacco usage for sure, but man, you have a just variety. Just
Oh yeah, I was really surprised at how much
seeing stuff
you guys actually had.
seeing stuff I've never tried
Yes.
before, and stuff. That's
and
pretty
that's kind
cool.
of
I like that.
where, I told one lady, she was like, well, what don't you have? I'm like, well, whatever you can pretty much get on the street, I can get in Delta 8 or Delta 10.
So much safer.
Well, I was just
Yes.
saying, like, even beyond that,
Right.
like even
The
just
water
beyond the Delta
price.
8 10. So, like, you guys got variety, you really do.
We are getting ready we're starting production on a humidor room next week. So we're going to have premium cigars. We're going to, we're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so that's
so
why
I'm a
I said,
cigar
one
guy.
of those
I'm a
Snapchats,
cigar guy,
it
for
was,
sure.
can't wait to show you what's going on.
That's
Those are
dope.
some of the things that's going
Yeah.
on.
Cause I got
So-
like a cigar spot by my crib, and they're cool as fuck.
Right, and we're going to have stuff like that. We're getting ready to have
Your
more
store's
premium glass.
21 plus, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there any?
Please.
Shit, don't even try.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Just
don't
before
try
one.
it. It's not.
I don't wanna have
You'll
to be
eventually get caught.
I obviously knew that. I was just
No,
stating
okay.
it, but here my question is like, if you do a lot of cigar lounges will do like where you can get like a glass of whiskey or like you can get alcohol.
See,
Is that
we have
an
to have a
option?
license for that.
Because
Yeah.
that's a lot of that's expensive.
It is.
Yes,
So we're not there yet, but I think if
you guys are doing
we
well
saw
with it,
market
with
for
what you're
it,
doing.
Right.
right,
So
we're kind of, we'll get ready to have summer kickoff. We're
Yeah.
going to be having a raffle. So, the whole theme.
but
of
you
this
guys are
raffle-
grouping up with
well, and that's
people like
what-
you said, so
right,
that's
communities.
really
We're trying
nice.
to team with people because when you go to the summer
I'm gonna
fest
put a little
events,
bit on
we
the
can't
inside,
go
too.
Yeah.
because we can't produce these products there. People, drinking is socially acceptable. This isn't yet. So, we're trying to reach out in different ways and still, be here and be a part of the community. And, this is
So
still
these are
family friendly.
Professional
So,
roller.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up because, I feel like growing up in that community, it is a unique community. It really is. It's honestly, I feel like it's a decent place to grow up. You know what I mean? And,
yes,
and,
that is
and
one thing
get,
I do
a
like.
good, a good way to get your ball rolling with, anything. Like I feel like the opportunities there. I mean, everywhere is hiring. And,
Yes.
and among that, just if you do have more of a community and like bring it more together, make it more knitted in that sort of sense, it would be a little bit more like familiar. You know what I mean? In that way, it wouldn't be. And I mean, and you see the people. You said there's a variety of people that go into the store. Some people you may never have thought that you would ever see.
Yes.
Think about striking a conversation, getting to know somebody that you had no idea, had the same thing that you liked, and then you
Right.
guys just roll the ball from there. Opportunities just start throughout the door,
Right, and that's the nice thing. We've been able to do that so far. Just as a start, it's been, like you said, there has been a variety of people. And, sometimes you get the stigma of, oh, this is what it is. But once you come in, you talk to us, and we're just real people, just like everybody else. It's kind of, that melting of, okay, now we can talk. Now we can be friends. Now we can conversate and share ideas and not, have it be a stigma of a thing.
That's what's up.
I think as a podcast, we were going to ask you guys if there's anything you wanted to know about us. We kind of ask you a lot of questions today, so it's like if you wanted to ask us questions
So,
about whatever.
what is you said earlier today you didn't know a whole lot about the Delta 8, Delta 10. So for you coming in as a customer, how is that experience on your end? What do you think compared to what we normally do at home after hours?
It just feels really nice to me, and I've talked about it with my parents, friends, plenty of people now. And it's just it's really nice that if this is a good way of wording it, it just you guys have a lot of options. It makes it feel like
You genuinely
correct. You're doing it in a correct way, I think, and it's really nice to see, and I can explain it to my parents that are kind of more old fashioned on some things, or what. I mean, to me, it's just like I said, I'll just tell them, like, go up there, ask for one of you two, because like you guys really do. You're so good at explaining.
We really do care. Because on the parent aspect, old school here, like my parents, at my age, they just found out 3 years ago that I've been smoking. So,
Yeah.
This, of course, it's Vietnam era, so my parents
Oh
are
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
This is like, black sheep of the family, like, how dare you, but now it's like, oh, yeah, so now they're getting into that, and on the aspect of, being able to, for you guys, this is the first legal experience you've had with it. So being able to tell your parents, hey, this is a legal thing. I remember for me on the legal aspect in California, it was a very freeing thing to be able to be like, look, I'm medicating this way instead of a pill form or instead of, narcotics like the doctors want. So, that's interesting just to be able to see it from a, I always tell people, I'm pushing legal products in an illegal state. So, just to hear that from a customer standpoint is really cool.
I never thought it was going to benefit me. Like, I'm not going to lie. Once I started, hearing about it more and doing my own research, and then, like, Delta 10 was within, like, a week ago. And now that I fully understand it, it's great. I probably prefer it more than Delta 8. But I was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I even fuck with it?
Right.
I do my thing, and I'm cool with it. But now it's like, wait a minute. This is cool. Option. Yeah, this is cool.
And on the, it is more of a medical standpoint as close as we can get.
Yeah. I think when you, Jared, if you want to go ahead, I don't know if you're hearing us, man.
No, so the question was
she's asking, like, as a customer standpoint, what is kind of like what brings you into the Delta 8 and to the Delta 10? So, like,
whenever I'm in there, I've got to watch myself. That your store is dangerous. You need to have.
It is. It is very dangerous. I told you, it's the options. It's the options. You guys have options.
And I had to leave as soon as I saw those candles in there. Whenever I saw those candles, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. But no, I'm super excited to see it there.
Sorry, bro.
Especially where it's at, it's just, I don't know. I look in there and it's, you just literally, it's hard to say, you just kind of like, you broke the wall for here, you broke a wall, and it just feels a little bit more, I feel comfortable walking up in there, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
I feel like I can, chin up walking in there. I don't feel like, oh,
and that's exactly what I want. I want you to come in and feel like
you're
one of my homies. You're one of your family. Like, I mean, of course, I'll probably treat you better than I treat my family. But
some of us have, moved away for a few years, or like Jared's out in Washington right now, or or Cali, right? You're in Cali.
I'm in Cali.
Yeah, he's out in Cali right now. But like, most of us, at least the four of us, when it comes to the Last Stab podcast, have grew up in Lebanon and been around, and it's like we've been around Lebanon, and it's just I think it's like we almost used to joke about things like this. Like, we didn't expect this to ever happen.
Really
in our little town. We really didn't think it would ever happen.
It's funny because you're not the first person to say that. Like, everybody who come in, as soon as they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, in Lebanon, really? Like, looking around, so.
Yeah, and you guys sell like good quality. You guys had a nice Rasta grinder there, and that thing is durable. It's nice. It's bulky. It's three chamber or whatever. It's nice.
They have these cool looking like octagon shaped grinders.
Those are hard.
Those look really cool. I've never
because it's easier to grip than a circle grinder. Because think about the stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want some angle. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah. And you guys got some really cool designs. Do you guys just go through like one designer through that, or do you guys have multiple people, or is that hard to come by?
On the different glass.
Yes.
Yeah. So we go through different vendors, and so like we just got all the tsunami glass in. We're getting Luca glass in, and then we just found another vendor, which I can't really say yet because we don't have it in, but it's going to be like a don't touch this. Unless you're planning on buying it, and even then, I gotta get it for you.
Right.
So you guys don't have like a
We're gonna have some premium glass.
What about this? Is there anything you want to shout out for like future plans or anything you just got going on right now that you just want to give a quick?
Well, first of all, I want to, for me, I want to give a shout out to our guys who gave us the samples for today, which is the Mellow Fellow.
For sure. Please do that.
We got the Mellow Fellow brand, like I said, from Colorado. We got the Hoosier Hemp Growers.
Oh, that's a Colorado brand.
The Hoosier Hemp Growers is obviously local. What else we got?
So we have just the Mellow Fellow here and the Hoosier Hemp Growers.
What about the 100 milligram ones? Which one?
So those
ones, man, I'm telling you, those things are
thing, and that is the only one I have.
Got this,
and that's the thing where you post it on.
Those are very good. I highly recommend.
And they're gone. So, and if you're not,
what's that one called?
On Snapchat,
oh my gosh, I want one.
Oh, they're good, dude.
I haven't had
Nerd Bites.
What's the brand?
Strange thing.
Strange
thing.
What's
nice, I like it.
So the Snapchat for the
straight.
Is what?
It's straight thing.
Oh, straight thing.
Straight.
So,
straight thing, not strange.
Certain things don't.
So yeah, we're follow them on Facebook at The Joint. Is it?
Do they have
The Joint, Lebanon, Indiana? Or, okay.
They have handles and all that, like Instagram and all that. The ones that you just shouted out.
I do have Snapchat.
Snapchats are a big one. Anytime we get anything new in the shop, anytime anything comes in, those are going to be the people who are going to be hearing it first.
Snapchat.
Right.
Snapchat's very good. We will definitely spread the word.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Awesome.
spread their name. Go up there, check them out.
Hey, and we really appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate this platform to be able to reach out.
We've been talking about it all week or two. That we've been.
This is a big step. It's a big step for both of us.
I couldn't. Like I went up there the other day. And you posted on Snapchat. This is a good example. So she posted on Snapchat these little. Is it cone?
The cone loaders?
Yeah, the cone loaders. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted one of the cone loaders because I had one of the raw ones, which is one of these right here.
Nice ones there.
Well, I stepped on mine and broke it.
He said, "Well, I stepped on it."
And I saw your cone loaders, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to try these ones. I've never had one before." So I went in there and bought one, and I it's almost like I couldn't hold back. I was like, "Yeah, you're going to be on the podcast." And it was like, "Yeah, I know, dude." But it's super awesome to have you guys on.
Well, we appreciate it, definitely. And that, like I said, that Snapchat, like I will even, anytime I post something, like I will, those are kind of the people that I hit first. So if you're on the Snapchat, you're going to get the extra 10% off. If you screenshot this, or, if you're on the Snapchat specifically mention this, you get an extra 10%, whatever. That's kind of where I'm going.
I like that you guys had a rewards program too.
Yes. And really
good
that
mention.
pays it back because every 100 points you get $1 off. We've got people that have already cashed in $10, $15.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I signed up. You better be signing up.
Everyone will sign up. All right. Well, buddy. This was fun.
Thank you.
Jared,
Yeah,
Shout
guys.
out the joint.
Bye.
Yo,
Good seeing you,
right on.
Jared.
Thank you guys for showing up.
Thank
That's
you.
what's up.
Enjoy that
That's awesome.
California sunshine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look how bright it is there.
I know it.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
It's 100 plus, I bet.
It's hot.
Yo,
Love you, Jay. Love you, Jay.
Ooh, we got the job.
He's looking good. I told him, dude. He's looking good, man.
hey, those fights too. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
those
those fights.
We're gonna touch on them. We're gonna touch on
We're
them.
gonna touch base on him next.
Save
Okay.
it.
Next
Save it for
podcast.
another day.
What fights?
Hey,
There were some
Last
really
night.
good fights on last night.
So good.
So here, we'll say this before the podcast ends. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, which we really did, and we hope to do some more with you in the future.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely. If you guys want us back, we'll be come back.
We'll see what some of the people say and see if they want, what our possibilities. Maybe they have some ideas for us,
That would be great.
So
Yeah.
if you guys are interested in coming back, let us know, and we'll see let's see what the feedback's going to be like, because we're going to definitely be shouting you guys out, 100%. So
We
Yeah,
appreciate
you guys
that.
for sure.
It's the same to you.
Oh yeah. Actually, I have a gift for you guys.
that was a good idea. Yes, I'm glad I brought that up.
Presents are fun.
We have a merch, just like you guys do, and
Nice.
we got a little something for you just in case.
I
you
came
wanted
in
to
earlier
keep it.
and I gave you a little Easter egg, but this is the real deal.
Oh,
This is our own original design that we've made ourselves. This is the last
So if you
time.
guys hang it in the crib or in the crib.
In the crib.
For sure,
Shop.
for sure.
You can hang
Yeah.
it wherever you
Wherever you
want,
want.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the dab flag made straight from the dab
Thank
flag.
you guys.
Blanket.
This is awesome.
Heck yeah.
Right on, guys.
Great, Bethany.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. See you, Jay.
See you guys. Peace.